It's Silver for Fun here. What I want to show you today is some proof coin sets. Now, if you look back on some of my videos, I've got some videos about why I collect proof sets, and it's something of a new thing that I've started. To be fair, I've had this one for quite some time, but the other three I've recently got, and some are British ones. Some are a couple of years old, but I've only just really recently started collecting a few more. So without further ado, I'm going to show you my coin sets, and I'm going to start with this one because this was my first one, and this one's from 1968. So we'll start from there, and then we'll come up in year order. So this is 1968. Sorry for the reflection. This is the only problem with trying to video proof sets, is you get a lot of reflection, particularly as where I film my videos, particularly through the summer months and autumn and fall. I do it in my conservatory, as you can see the reflection, just because there's a lot better light. So apologies for that. So anyway, I'm going to show you these. So they're all absolutely beautiful condition. Seems to have gone out of focus. Let's go to the other side. The thing with American coins compared to British coins, British coins are always, when you've got the coin, this is an old 3 pence or 3 pence, or even 3 pence, 3 pence. The coin is that way up, and you turn it around that way. So this is always the bottom of the coin. American coins and some of the coins you flip that way. So there we go. Oh, wrong way around. There we go. So you flip it the other way. So that's just a little bit unusual for British people, a little bit different. There you go. You got the $half in the centre. We've got a dime, a quarter. I love this design. I know it's really old design now, but I do love that design. Cent, and what's that one? 5 cents. Okay, so the reason why I like collecting these so much is because, I mean, this is from 1968, so this is a couple of years older than even I am, and it's in better condition than me. Some of it's got a little bit of, tarnishing, but very slight. I mean, this is 50 years old, and I say it's in better condition than me. I've got body parts missing and all sorts. This hasn't got anything missing. So anyway, that's my first one, and then we're going to go to 2005 now. As probably a lot of you know, the American, or the United States Mint decided to bring out some quarters that were for the 50 states, so i.e. United States Mint 50 state quarters. So each state, over a period of, I think it was 10 years, had a particular coin that was for that state, so it was representing that state. So this is 2005. It tells you which states it corresponds to on the inside of it. So the ones that are darkened are the states that are inside. So we've got California, Minnesota, Oregon, Kansas, and West Virginia. Don't ask me to tell you where they are, because I really probably don't know. Should we have a go? I think that's California. I think that's Oregon. That's Minnesota. Or is that Minnesota? That could be Minnesota. Is that one going to be Kansas? And that one West Virginia? I don't know. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I think I've got them two right, but I'm not sure about the other three. So there's my geography knowledge. Just fell down the toilet. So with these as well, and you probably got it with this one as well. It probably came in the same packaging, to be fair, but I didn't get the packaging. Comes with a COA. So it tells you all about the fact that it's well, what I've just told you really. But it tells you how they're made, then where they were made. So they're all made in the San Francisco mint. They've all got the S mark on each coin, and they've all been burnished to a high luster, it says. So you get a better quality coin in these than you would in a regular coin that you buy in, or you get in your change. So we'll start with the California. Obviously they're all exactly the same in the back. In fact, are they the same as in one? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, well, it's similar. Actually they're not similar. Same person on the back, I think. But they're actually different on the back as well. I always thought they were the same. Again, sorry for the reflections. I'll show you one of these. Let's just go. There we go. So they're obviously all the same. You can see the S for the mint mark, which is just to the back of the neck of the is it president or something? One of the presidents. Sorry, American people, if you're watching this, my knowledge is complete useless. I should know a bit more. I've got some American family, but I haven't really took much notice of the history. So there's California, with the mountain in the background, or the hill. And who's that? John Muir. So he's obviously some famous person from that area. Then we've got Kansas for bison. Also, it's got on these coins a year, and I'm assuming they're the year that the state became the state, or its independence from whatever. I don't know. Again, if you know the answer to these questions I'm bringing up, please help me. Minnesota. In fact, I've got a feeling my cousin lives in Minnesota. I could be completely wrong, but I think she lives in Minnesota. She was Canadian, but she's now an American citizen. Oregon. Craters Lake. Pretty cool. And West Virginia. Okay. So that was 2005. I'm going to skip a year actually. I'm going to get to 2007. So let's put 2005 back in its little box. Keeps it nice. So 2007. Oh, we'll have a look on the back first. So on this one they've grouped all the states together as well, which I think is quite nice. So we've got Montana, Washington, Idaho, Wyoming and Utah. think that's Washington. I'm going to guess that's Montana. I think that's going to be Wyoming, and I think that's going to be Idaho. Again, could be completely wrong. I have actually been quite close to it. Again, these coins are exactly the same on the back, so we're not going to look at them. What we got here? So Montana. Let's have a look at the Montana one first. Let's look at the Hannah Montana. Big sky country. Apparently there's old cow skulls floating around in the sky, and that's why they've got such big sky. Maybe I might be wrong. What's this? Wyoming. So it's obviously where there's lots of cowboys. The Equality State. Washington. Evergreen State. Idaho, that's a nice one, isn't it? Oh, hang on, that's giving me a clue, isn't it? Ah, Idaho. Found the state, it's that one. Did I say that in the first place? I don't know. Idaho. And then Utah. What's that say? Crossroads of the West. Right, okay, so the final one I'm going to show you, actually no, I'm going to show you this first. So, one thing I forgot to show you on the other one, but if you look on the other side, it tells you a little bit about the coin. So it will say Montana quarter, might not be able to see that here. Montana quarter, it tells you who's on the obverse, so it is George Washington. Obviously I knew that really. Tells you who the engraver or the sculptor was, so it was John Flanagan on each of them. Tells you what the inscription is actually on the coin, so Big Sky Country, and tells you who the engraver of those that side was as well, which is they're all different. Well, actually no, this Dan guy, he did a couple on that one. Tells you how they're made up. So they're 8.33% nickel, and the rest of it's copper. It tells you the diameter, which is 24.3 millimeters. The weight, which is 5.67 grams, and it's a reeded edge. Okay, so that's the specification of this particular coin. And now we're going to go back here to 2006. Now the reason why I've kept this one to last is because this one is United States Mint 50 state quarters silver proof, and as my YouTube name suggests, silver for fun. I like silver, so I thought I'd keep the best till last. And this is the best one in quite a few reasons, because it means this particular one means something to me. So there's the states there. So it's M5. I'll have a little guess at which ones they are. So you got Nevada, Nebraska, Colorado, South Dakota, and North Dakota. Right. So that's North Dakota. That's South Dakota. That's Nebraska. That's Nevada. And that's Colorado. I'm guessing. I actually know them too, because I've been to those two. I've been to North Dakota and I've been to South Dakota. That's why this is special to me. My family, my Canadian family, lives in the province above North Dakota, which is Manitoba. Actually, they've moved now. One of them lives over here, just in Windsor, Ontario. But they did live in Manitoba, and we drove down through North Dakota, and then through to South Dakota, went to Mount Rushmore and all the sites that you see in North and South Dakota we saw. So that was cool. So this is why this means something to me, purely because I've been to two of the states, and also it's silver. So let's have a little look. Now this coin, this might appeal to some people, and some people might think it's absolutely abysmal, but this is something that I kind of like. Let's go over the COA first. So this one's got written in red. It says pretty much exactly the same. Then the specs. Might not be able to pick this up very easily on here because the red's a little bit faint. It's 90% silver and 10% copper. You'll see the relevance of that in a second. The diameter is 24.3 millimeters, and the weight is 6.25 grams, and it's reeded edge. Obviously the weight is slightly heavier than the previous coins that I showed you, because these are silver, so they're a little bit more dense. So let's have a look. We'll start with the presidents. Now this is why I say it doesn't appeal to everybody. Can you see that toning? That's basically I think the copper part of the coin is starting to, I don't know whether it's bleeding out or it's starting to react with the silver, and it gives this sort of effect, almost like a rainbowy, rusty sort of effect. And some people don't like this, and it will just spring up anywhere it likes, usually on the high spots. That one looks like he's been in Florida or California or somewhere for too long, and he's caught a suntan. That one doesn't want to. Ah, there you go. Okay, so on the other side, we've got slightly less effect on these ones on this side. But there you go. You got Nevada. It's got the horses. See that? Pretty coin that is. Nebraska. It's got hardly any on it, look, but it gives you a little bit of contrast. Colorado. We're going to go to South Dakota. We've got some bison. I remember going to a shop or a restaurant. It's a place called, is it called Wall Drug or something in South Dakota, I think it was, and they were selling bison burger. I didn't fancy it really. I thought the horns would get in the way, so I didn't have any of that. So that's North Dakota and South Dakota. So as you can see, you've got the faces in the mountains. If ever anybody gets the opportunity to go to South Dakota, this is an absolute must to go and see, because it is just so phenomenal. I mean, probably even a lot of American people have never seen it in the flesh. It's just because it's just completely out of the way of everywhere, really. But it's quite phenomenal. You expect it to be really enormous, but it is big, but it's not as big as what I thought it would be, and it is quite awesome. And then you've got, I think the next town to it is Rapid City, and you've got Deadwood, which is where Calamity Jane was based. And it's quite an interesting sort of place. It was a long time ago since I went. I went in 1988, I think it was. 1988. So it was quite weird, because obviously at that point, it could have been 1989 actually when I went, So legally in the UK I could drink alcohol, and I think in Canada I could drink alcohol. I went over the border to America, to North and South Dakota. Guess what? Couldn't drink alcohol, which I thought was a little bit weird. I thought, well, I'm an adult, I can drink what I want, but no, I can't. But that was a long time ago. I don't drink anything now, so it wouldn't bother me these days. But when you're a young 18, 19-year-old lad, that's all you want to do. You want to go out, have a few beers, and enjoy yourselves. So anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed looking at my little proof set collection from the United States. If you have, hit that subscription button, hit that like button, hit the notification bell as well, and you'll see when we get more videos. See you next time. Bye.